This was an amazing ride. We started out with decent weather, but then we got rained all over and we were soaking wet, and then everything finished in really good weather. We stopped near some people just sitting at the beach. Ever since I was doing my research into buying an adventure motorcycle and ended up with the Africa Twin, I've always wanted to try a Ducati DesertX. Mostly because I really like the way they look, but also all the reviews made me want to try one, but I didn't get that chance. So I am in Gran Canaria right now, and together with a friend of mine we found this really friendly place that rents amazing motorcycles. So I got myself a DesertX and he got himself an Africa Twin, and we got the chance to ride them through the amazing roads of this beautiful island. Unfortunately for me, taking these bikes off-road wasn't an option. I imagine it's a policy thing, probably tied to insurance. A real shame, because I was hoping to pick up a few tips from Adrian, who's pretty experienced with off-road riding. But honestly, with roads like this, who could complain? Gran Canaria has some of the most stunning mountain routes I've ever seen. The twists, the turns, the jaw-dropping views, it's the kind of riding that makes you forget all about rules and just enjoy the moment. For now it was all about getting to know the bikes, soaking in the scenery and letting the road lead the way. Not long into the ride, the skies decided to test our spirits. At first we thought it was just a passing shower, a little drizzle to keep things interesting, but as it turns out, Gran Canaria had other plans. We even took a side road, thinking it might lead us out of the rain. Instead, it led us, well, nowhere. Luckily, at the top, where the road ended, we found an unexpected kindness. A local woman saw us drenched and invited us to take shelter in her garage. Canarians really are some of the nicest people you'll meet. We got to the end of the world and it's raining, and
it's the end of the world, but it continues a bit more.
It continues a bit more. A nice lady let us use her garage to stay away from the rain. So that's where we are, and that is Diamante. Hola Diamante. So we got to this point, but yeah, we really thought the road ended, but it seems that this lady told us we can continue through that path, and then there's a descent that goes to the next village.
¿Cómo?
Que si no se aguanta si se enchumba, que cayó una buena.
Un día que llueve el año, ¿no?
Ay, sí.
When the rain finally let up just a bit, we decided it was time to move on and find some food. We have been riding through the rain for, I don't know, almost an hour I think now. We're pretty cold, we're completely wet. I guess it's part of the adventure, but it's not that nice.
Come to the Canary Islands for some sunshine.
Completely soaked and starving, we stumbled upon a restaurant. Of all things, a German one, in Gran Canaria. We were pretty low on morale at that point, even considering calling it a day and heading back. But it seems like eating in a German restaurant in a Spanish town is considered by the gods punishment enough, because as soon as we got on the bikes, the skies cleared and the warmth returned. From there, the ride completely turned around and the rest of the day was nothing short of amazing. So we stopped in a very nice place, and thankfully the weather changed. It's really sunny right now actually. I'm trying to cover up the wind, so this is where we parked. It's another end of the world, and yeah, Adrian knew about this place. He parked his van some time ago, right?
Indeed, yes. I spent here a good week.
How did you find it and where did you park?
Just by chance. It's a bit of a dirt road to come down here, but yeah, it's on the way to a private beach. And I think there is like some sort of resort down here. But yeah, it's beautiful, very quiet. Nobody comes here.
So you could stay for 1 week and nobody, I don't know, bothered you?
People come and go. Like sometimes you see the locals coming up and down, but yeah, it's fairly quiet.
Okay, so we're not gonna put the location of this place.
Yeah,
It's very nice. It's really close to Agaete. That, I think, yeah, that over there is called Puerto de las Nieves, right? And here somewhere there should be a small secluded beach. Is it over there?
So you can walk down. There is a path that walks down all the way to the seaside here, and it's public. You can just walk. But I think these guys have their own private beach. I'm not quite sure what it is, but yeah, they have a section of the beach that you cannot really access.
Okay, so that being said, I'm getting all dried out dried up because I was completely wet, and now from the wind and now with this really nice sun, I'm getting back to positivity, because at one point I wanted to turn around and go back home, but I'm very happy we didn't do that, and it's really nice to be here and to continue the exploration. got to, I think, Puerto de Mogan or something like that. I think Adrian knows better. But yeah, let's just talk a few words about the bikes. Adrian, what do you usually ride? And then how do you feel about this bike that you have ridden today?
All right, let me take the microphone. So my usual bike, it's a RT 1200, a BMW. It's a very different bike for sure. It's a much bulkier bike, much heavier. It's made to be on the road basically. So this is a fairly new experience for me. It's yeah, you feel it instantly. It's very agile, much lighter. You are much more upright, so you can kind of like are a bit above the ground. And yeah, in terms of power and the feeling of riding it, it's also very different. It has a lot of punch. So obviously it's not made to be really fast, but it's great in corners and roads like this. It's amazing. So I had a great time. We had all sorts of weather today, so difficult journey on the way here. We are soaked, although we dried out a bit, but yeah, it handled really well. So really happy with it. Yeah.
And I know you do have some experience off-road. Would you feel confident on this bike with some proper tires?
I would say the tires are 80% of it. Yes. So I really don't know. I think it feels much more maneuverable, as in you are in control of the bike all the time. I think it just feels a bike that it's made to be off-road. But obviously we didn't have the right tires. We went through like a kind of, I would say, like a kilometer off-road, and that was challenging, but it's clearly the tires, not the motorbike. So yeah, I would really look forward to try it if possible outside the tarmac for sure.
For me, coming from an Africa Twin, from the bike you are riding, but the bulkier version, I feel this one a bit lighter, but very powerful, very strong. I found it a bit strange. I feel like the acceleration has a bit of play, but it's very weird because it has the play and then it starts to grip, and at one point it's like not gripping again, and then you have the full power on. So I don't know if this is something that's on all these bikes, or is just this particular motorcycle that has maybe an issue. But I think you can get used to that. I'm still fighting with it when I'm starting from stop position. But other than that, I really liked it. I could say it's creamy. It's creamy but powerful. So it's the first bit of acceleration. It starts. I don't know. It's like a transition, you know, when you're editing stuff and there's this transition. So it kind of feels like that. It takes you into it a bit, and then it's a lot of force. So I really like it. I enjoy it, and I was hoping to like it, and it's really fulfilled what I was expecting. I like this bike. In the end, we had an incredible ride. Even with the rain and a few unexpected detours, we managed to cover 240 kilometers of Gran Canaria's amazing roads. As the day started to fade, we hopped onto the highway to make it back before dark. But this was just the beginning. There's so much more of the island to explore, and we're already planning the next ride. Stay tuned for the next adventure. Gran Canaria has plenty more surprises waiting for us.